Hello and welcome to our next Catena Cast. I'm Claire Bicknell, owner of the Catena Network, the Business Connections Network, and I'm here today at Majestic in Nottingham, one of our latest members. And really this is a wine lover's heaven. Look what I've found already, a magnum of something called the chocolate block. Chocolate and wine, what could possibly go wrong? I'm really interested, whilst we're here, to learn about the wine that shares our name. I often joke that this is something that I don't make in my garage and stick a label on, and I'm not sure how many people really believe me. So come with me and we'll find out the story behind this particular wine and label. So this is Sarah from Majestic, and you very kindly invited us in today to tell us a little bit about the wine that we share our name with, but potentially only the spelling, is that right?
It is, yes. I think the pronunciation is a little bit different.
So how do we pronounce the wine?
So it's Catena.
Catena.
Yes.
So I'm Catena, wine is Catena.
Catena.
Potato, potato.
Only a slight difference.
Only a slight difference. So are we able to try some of this?
Of course we can, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
I don't like to drink alone, so I'm going to invite in one of our Catena members. So, Alistair Wesson, come and join us. Take a seat. So we've been joined by Alistair Wesson, Mazar's Nottingham office managing partner. And I imagine, Alistair, that food and drink, entertaining clients is a big part of what you do.
Absolutely, Claire. Always has been. This can be seen from the figure.
It's a tough job, but someone has to do it.
Totally
so thank you for really going above and beyond duty in coming to wine taste with us today. But do you have a particular favourite wine? Red, white, pink?
I've tried to steer off the pink, but I have to say Malbec is a particular favourite. So nice to see we've got a Malbec here to taste.
Well, I'm going to hand over to you then, Sarah, to tell us a bit more about it. Maybe that's the one to... Well, I don't know. Is it the one to start with?
Malbec at the minute is pretty popular, so it's kind of everyone's favourite red at the moment. But yeah, I mean the Chardonnay is fantastic. That's my favourite in the range. But we can try all three if you want.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Over to you.
As well.
You lead us
You're
through.
in charge.
So I did a bit of research into the Catena family, so how they kind of came about and their history. So they were founded, the whole vineyard and the winery in Mendoza, which is kind of western Argentina, just close to the border with Chile, was founded in 1902. So basically they've been around for quite a while now.
Thank you.
And he, Nicholas Catena, was the kind of guy that discovered the first Malbec vineyard in the world, basically. And that's kind of pioneered the Malbec revolution, I think.
Oh, wow.
Front-runner.
And interesting for us because I guess we both like the idea of family businesses as well.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's nice to have a small kind of family-run winery because a lot of them now, you know, the bigger names are quite kind of commercialised. But yeah, the Catena brand, and it's all family-run. The MD now is Laura Catena, and she's the fourth generation within the family. So she's the father. She's Nicolas Catena. So there's Nicolas Catena, and then there's Nicolas Catena, and that's his daughter. And she's kind of the managing director of it all now. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good going to get four generations.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is a bit of the Chardonnay. So it's got a bit of oak aging to it, kind of what we call barrel fermentation. So they'll age it in these big oak barrels to give it a bit more colour, so it's a kind of golden colour. A lot of the wines that I try Pinot Grigio is quite pale, but the oak gives it a lot more colour, kind of imparts a lot of properties on the wine and makes it really rich, kind of buttery, creamy kind of style of Chardonnay. So great with fish, seafood, salads, if we get the weather for kind of summer salads.
This is joy to my husband then. He hates eating salad, but if I can say we can have wine with it
wine,
as well,
that might make him more partial to a salad. Yeah.
So we have to really swill, do we?
Yeah, so that just kind of aerates the wine, opens it all up, develops it, and gets all the kind of aromas and the flavours going. So give it a... But it is a really golden kind of...
It does smell buttery, actually.
Yeah. It's quite a rich... the richer styles like this, like oaky Chardonnays, go well with like risottos, quite creamy dishes, carbonaras, things like that as well. Have you tried any of these before?
I've tried this before,
Yeah.
and obviously, as we have something in common, even if it's only spelling, then yes, I felt, because I use these as gifts for people who've helped me within my business, speakers,
Right, okay.
and there is a joke that I brewed this in my garage and just put a nice label on it, and this is why I think this is very important to show that it is absolutely gorgeous wine.
It is fantastic
And,
wine. Yeah.
Yes, it's the real stuff, and I'm not cheapskating it, and they are proper gifts. In fact, somebody rang me yesterday.
They're very good gifts.
Who had said how lovely the Malbec was.
Yeah.
So yes.
So you're going to give it a copy of the podcast and a bottle of wine, so you can prove it
Yes.
is something you're doing in the garage.
Yes, exactly. So can we?
Yeah,
Yes?
go for it.
I
Yeah.
already have them.
Oh, have you? There's always one.
Beat us to it, I know. So it's still quite tropical, like quite fruity, isn't it? Like kind of mango.
It's really nice, isn't it?
It's a
I
fantastic
think
wine.
actually, I have never done all this before. When you're out to dinner, you have a glass of wine,
Yeah.
and you just take a sip.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
But that makes all the difference, doesn't it? The smelling it and then
Yeah.
washing it round your taste buds.
Yeah.
I
There's a
guess.
lot more going on. It kind of really opens the wine up quite a lot.
Different taste buds at different points in the palate.
Yeah,
as well.
massively. Yeah. It's
I can't remember where they are, where the sweet ones are and the sour ones are, but I know they're in there somewhere.
They are in this.
Well,
I can't
let's
remember
I'll
keep trying to
take
find
another
them,
sip
shall
and
we?
see if I can find them.
But you
That
can
is very
smell
nice.
it does smell quite.
It's there's lovely fruit in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's very good.
There's a lot of flavour. You know, some of the wines the kind of cheaper Chardonnays can be quite thin and almost a bit
Yes,
watery.
this
but
feels.
this is
It
Almost
feels.
got depth.
yeah.
I think it's slightly oaky as well. I was expecting
It's
it
not
to be a little
massively,
bit.
Yeah, no,
more
it's
so.
quite a subtle oak.
Yes, because that's something that I'm remembering the Bridget Jones Chardonnay era.
Yeah.
And where everybody was drinking Chardonnay.
Yeah, they
You
did.
could have oaked or unoaked, and I really didn't like oaked. It was far too heavy, but that is just right. It's Goldilocks wine, isn't it?
They went through, I think, especially in that Australia, in the New World, went through a big, really heavily oaked phase during the 90s of just really heavily oaking the wines, and they just were undrinkable. And which is why we get a lot of people that say, I hate Chardonnay now. But then they'll try something like this that's ever so slightly kind of oaked. There's a really nice balance to it, and they'll love it.
Yes.
Or like if you say, they hate Chardonnay, but do you like Chablis? And they'll say, I love Chablis.
Yes.
And it's the same, it's still Chardonnay, but it's
Yes.
just such a versatile kind of grape variety to make wine with. It's so it produces things like this, but then it produces Chablis, and then it produces really heavily oaked Chardonnay, so you can do a lot with it.
So, what have you had to study, Sarah, to become a wine expert, to know all these?
So we have to do, when I started with Majestic, I didn't really know much about wine. I did a summer in France, working in Burgundy, which is how I got into it, because I loved it out there, and I came home and I was like, oh, I need to find a job that I can drink wine all day and like kind of learn about it. So I came to Majestic in September 2015 now, so I've been here for quite a while, a few different stores, and yeah, we have to do like so basically equivalent to an A-level in wine and spirits. So it's called the WSET, it's like a kind of certified qualification. And yeah, we have to do that, and then you can, if you want to, go on to do your diploma as well, which is more like a degree level, in-depth kind of qualification to have. But that's a lot of work. So if you've got the time to do it, it's well worth doing. Yeah.
Is that involved tasting as well?
Yeah,
So
you get
differentiating
like
the different
so we do
different
it.
regions?
The exam I did, you did a blind tasting exam. So they gave you 3 different wines, and you have to kind of go through this methodical sheet ranking like the acidity and the alcohol content and things like that. And then at the end you get 3 options of what the wine could be, and you have to kind of go for which one you think it is. And then there's a theory side to it. So we had a whole question on I had a whole question on sherry, which I didn't really know much about, but yeah, a whole question on sherry, another one on German wines, and about champagne, and they cover everything basically.
Okay, so
It sounds interesting.
It's very hard work. Like it takes a lot of commitment, but it's
She
very.
sounded a bit defensive, do you think?
a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the job which enables you to drink wine all day.
Exactly, yeah.
It doesn't sound too bad, but I'm sure it's
No,
it's
a little
good.
bit.
Oh, I think I've nearly finished mine.
Let's hurry up, can't keep up with you. Okay, shall we move on to the next one?
Yes, please.
Yeah, brilliant.
Go on.
So we'll go for the Cabernet then, and then we'll try the Malbec last because that's the best one. So.
Yeah, you always leave
Save the best
till
for
last.
definitely. So what the Catena family kind of pride themselves on having high altitude vineyards. So they're basically, that's why they get such a kind of complex, kind of rich, heavy style of red, because the vineyards are really high up, kind of towards the Andes, and a lot of the vineyards on the ground just don't get that kind of depth to the wine. So yeah, that's how they get this kind of, because it's such a cool, in the evenings it's so cool and in the days it's so warm, that kind of contrast kind of is what gives the wine its depth.
Once you get the aroma at
Oh, wow.
distance, once
Yes.
the way under the nose, isn't it? That's really strong.
I don't know. I'm trying to think what it is that I'm smelling here.
Blackcurrant?
Yes. Yeah. And there's a sort of a cloviness, isn't there?
Yeah, kind of peppery.
Yes.
Yeah, bit of spice. Yeah.
You're both very good at this. I'm thinking that smells like
Oh,
a
don't
really
try!
nice red
Don't
wine.
try and tell me you don't drink. So you must
I
spend
spill
a lot.
most of it.
Oh, fair enough. So you must spend a lot of time entertaining with clients, and does wine become a big part of that? Trying to do something different, I guess, with your clients.
Yeah, I like the standard dinner where people go along and eat 3 courses and quaff huge quantities of probably not that good wine. They're still around, but I think people appreciate having a better quality drink and a better quality event. So it's trying to focus that, so you get a really good experience from it that people come back and want to come back to and want to go for more.
I've just tasted that. It's got an element of sweetness to it.
It has initially, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. You think it's going to be a really dry one and sort of go. But
Yeah.
It starts off sweet and then the depth
Kind of
and the
base, isn't it?
acidity
Yeah.
comes in.
It's sometimes the I think it's usually the oak that gives it that kind of initial, almost sweet, kind of sweet spice flavour. Because they get it a lot in like Rioja, which they age for quite a while. You'll get a bit of a sweeter flavour in Rioja, and Californian Zinfandels as well. Come across as quite almost sweet, but like you say, initially it is, but then it kind of fades.
As you actually move it across the back of the tongue, the real
It's
depth of the
delicious,
flavour.
actually.
yes, it is,
It's
isn't
very,
it?
very nice.
This is a very pleasant morning. Cheers.
You might leave the car outside and
Move in. So have you tasted every wine in this?
We've tried a lot of them, yeah. So whenever we get a new wine in, we'll always make sure that when it's open on here, we'll try it just so we can kind of get an idea. But yeah, we do our best to try the
That's very
majority
stoic of you.
the majority of what we sell. Yeah,
it's quite an achievement as well, actually, because you've got
we do a
superb
huge
stock in
range.
stock.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we do a really good range. But everyone's got their kind of favourites.
Yes.
So I don't drink a lot of like Bordeaux because I'm not a huge fan, or Sauvignon Blanc I'm not a big fan, but then I love Chardonnay and I love Malbec and I love Shiraz, so I'll kind of steer towards those.
Well, Laura behind the camera has said she doesn't know where to start with wine and she's not sure that she likes it. So where would be a good place for her to start?
Come in and do one of our tastings,
Oh,
because
fair.
we open like loads of different things, and it just or this, we have the tasting counter as well, so it's a great option to try. If you're not too sure on what you like, it's a really good option to kind of sample different styles and go from there really.
And we'll carry you home.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a good way to do it because it is difficult. I didn't know anything about wine at all, and I tried loads of different things and I thought, I don't like that, I do like that, and you kind of just get to kind of know what you like personally. So we're going to finish with the Malbec. So this is the kind of most famous Catena wine. So they're best known for producing Malbec. So they do the Catena range, and then they do Catena Alta range, which is their like next level up. And they're kind of fine wine level, and they're brilliant as well. So the Malbec is kind of the pioneer.
That's for somebody
wine.
who really does me a favour, I think.
Yeah, maybe treat somebody to
I'll
that
leave it
really
with you.
deserves it.
Yeah.
I'll think on that one.
Okay, I'll leave it with you.
But yeah, I mean, like I say, Malbec's really famous for going with steak, red meat dishes, spicy foods as well. You can pair with Malbec just because it's got a lot of body to it. It's really kind of heavy. It's almost quite chocolatey when you actually taste it. It's quite peppery, but it's
That was it. That's pepper that I was guessing.
yeah, and the blackcurrant as well comes through.
Again, very smooth, isn't it?
Very smooth, very different to the Cabernet actually.
Yes.
Not as dry in the finish.
No, it's
Yeah.
not, is it?
And to me, sounding like I know what I'm talking about, the more fruit comes through it as you're...
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I think
yeah.
what the difference is that we're actually taking our time with it.
Rather than just going with it.
Yes, just...
No, really. Now this would go well with the meat as you suggest. But
Oh
it's
yeah, no,
also,
definitely.
and that can be just sit slowly
Yes.
looking at
Well,
a nice view
again,
on TV, couldn't it?
Yeah,
So,
and with cheese platter or something like that
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
it'd be good with cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, really strong.
Yeah, like a
crunchy.
blue cheese or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. It has it's got quite a lot of what they call tannins in it, so it gives it that ability to if a wine's quite tannic, it gives it the ability to age basically. So over time the tannins kind of diminish and that kind of soften the wine.
Oh, I see.
So that's what in Bordeaux, like young Bordeaux, they'll put a lot of tannins in it from the oak, which is why, like, if you drink a Bordeaux, a 2015 Bordeaux now, it'd still be quite harsh, but in about 4 or 5 years' time, it'd really have mellowed and softened, and it'd be kind of the perfect drinking. So they say this can age for like another 5 years, in addition to what it is like now.
So
I
need to
happily drink this now,
stockpile,
but
do
yeah,
I?
exactly, yeah.
fill the garage in the cellar.
Yes, yes. It comes out of my garage. I just don't brew it in my garage.
What some people do is buy like 6, and they'll drink one every kind of 6 months or so and see how it's developed over that time.
Very restrained.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I probably do that
This
myself. But,
sounded
you know.
totally ridiculous to me. I imagine you can drink other things in between.
That is very, very good actually. I mean, the Cabernet was good, but this is...
It
It's
is
fantastic, isn't
yeah,
it?
and well worth leaving the best to last.
Mm.
Sarah, I have to say that this has probably been one of the nicest mornings that I've had. Certainly this week, well, it's the 1st of May, so I can't say this month. But thank you so much
No
for
problem.
hosting us and taking us through the Catena wines. I'm very, very keen to continue purchasing some more for Catena members. Alistair, thank you so much for putting yourself beyond the pale.
Well, it's been a real difficult thing to
Yes,
do.
and
It's been tough, hasn't it?
It's been
Absolutely.
tough, and I had to think very carefully about who I should ask, and I'm glad it was you.
Oh,
So
thank you.
thank you.
It's enjoyed.
And if anybody else is interested in finding out more about these wines or any other, then this Majestic or your local Majestic will be happy to help.